Hey guys, hi everybody. Well, I'm not gonna be able to wait until this music ends, but I'm just gonna dive into this discussion right away, man. If you're joining me right now, wherever you are, I appreciate for coming. I appreciate for coming in. So probably you saw the title and you have an interest on what is happening, or you have heard also what is going on. But as I always say, man, like every time when I come here and do this live stream is because something is not right, most of the time. And sadly, I hope we could have really moments that we just come here and celebrate, but most of the time that we come here, things are not right. And things are not right because our people, what they're going through all the time. So I'm going to spend very few minutes, but I want to talk about the situation that is happening in Congo. I've been advocating for this situation for a while, and that is because Congo is Africa, and that is because Congolese are our brothers and sisters, and that is because Congo is part of the Africa. It's one of the richest countries in the world. It's actually the richest country in the world, but we all know what is happening, what has been happening for the past 30 years with M23 and what is still going on right now in Congo. So there's something that has happened in Congo, and you guys have seen the title that it seems you have heard the discussion and the things about M23 and in what has been going on in Congo for so long time. This is basically terrorist group, rebels that have been really fighting against Congolese people. A lot of people have been dying for so many years. We have lost so many lives of our Congolese brothers and sisters. So many people have lost their home, they've lost their shelter, they've lost their children, their mother, their fathers. They've lost everything, basically everything. If you go to Tanzania, if you go to Uganda, if you go to Rwanda, if you go to Burundi, if you go to all the countries nearby Congo, you'll find a lot of Congolese. In my country, basically, in Tanzania, basically, it's like, it's Congolese country. We live together. We're one family. But not just because Congolese people, they love being in Tanzania. They want to stay in Tanzania. They want to live in Tanzania. But it's because they don't have the safety in their own country. Because the place of their ancestor, the place where they were born, the place where they live, they cannot afford to be there anymore because there's a threat to their security. Their children, they don't have any future. There's nothing happening for real. So right now, as we say, this M23, basically they're basically occupying the city of Sake. And this is just happening like in these 24 hours. They're occupying the city of Sake, which basically after that city, you approach the Goma. So basically people, or what is being said out there is that they are approaching the city of Goma. And Goma is the place where it's a very famous city in Congo and where a lot of Congolese actually fled from different areas that have been attacked by, M23, and they've been moving to Goma and to other cities, even to other countries as well to find for shelter. But if M23 managed to go all the way to, to Goma, then it's over. It is over. And I just want to read something a little bit what has happened. And the picture that I use here, I use this picture very purposefully. And look at the thumbnail that I use in this picture. All right. Okay. Let me share with you guys here. Let me share with you guys here in the screen so that you may see, because I want you guys to see it. And if you're joining right now, please subscribe and please share this stream with somebody, because I want us to talk kinagaubaga in Swahili, we say, with our fellow Africans, to talk about this situation. All right, I want us to talk from our heart, and I want us to talk from our souls, and for everything, man. If you're a human being and you have a soul and you have a heart, I want us to talk here. All right, I want all of us to forget for a second which countries we're coming from, to forget for a second what we have. But I want us to think about this. Look at this picture that you see right now on the screen. All right, I know my people from TikTok, you guys, you don't see that, but on YouTube, X, and Instagram, you see this. But look at the picture on the screen, what you see here right now. This is what has been happening in Congo for over 3 decades. This is what has been going on for over 3 decades. Congolese have been exodus from their own country for over 3 decades. You have moms here. Look at that, guys. You have moms holding their stuff, only the mattresses, and holding a kid and little kids, man. Okay, Forget about mom. Look at these little kids. This is what have been happening and going on in Congo for over 3 decades. Every single day, every single time, this is what has been happening. And not only that, but what has been happening is that these kids have been killed. A lot of them. The future of Africa, the future of Congo, the present of Congo. This is what has been happening over decades. There have been election happening in Congo couple weeks ago or a couple days ago, and the new regime come. We have a new regime. We have new leaders coming. I mean, the same leader basically. We have coming, but we still have the same challenges. We still have the same issue. We still have the same thing. This, I want you to take a close look at this picture. That this could be your mom. This could be you, your little kid in your country, running away from your country. You don't even know what is happening. You just think like you're taking a walk with your mom, just moving from your home. Just, we call, what is that? I forgot the name. But this could be me. This little kid is me. It's my fellow African. This could be the next president of Congo. This could be the future doctor. But imagine what kind of future is there for the kids like this. What kind of generation are we creating of Africans in few years, 10, 20, 30 years? If this is the present of Africans' life, what is the future are we creating in our countries? Are we only concerned about the present, where I am right now and what I'm doing right now? Or am I concerned about the future of our generation? Am I concerned about what I'm doing right now, how much money I'm making right now? Or am I concerned about 20, 30 years that this country, this continent, who will be a leader, who will be a doctor, who will be a teacher, who will be a leader, who will be there to stand for this country, for our countries? What are we concerned about? What are we concerned about? These are people running from their city, Sake, trying to make their way all the way to Goma, but Goma also might be under attack very soon. What are they going to do? What is the future for Africa? Right now, we are discussing and talking about today, and what can we do today to our continent? But basically what we're saying is that we are concerned about the future of Africa, because if what is happening is this in Congo right now, if what is happening is in Senegal right now, people, they're just running away, people just fighting one another, fighting against the government, fighting with everybody because of what is happening, because of postponed election. You just wake up in the morning and you try to postpone the election, and you know what is going to happen. If this is what is happening in Somalia. I've seen in Somalia, there've been a bomb. There've been a bomb in Somalia. I've seen that news yesterday. There've been a bomb somewhere there, close to Somaliland. Okay. Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger, I've been talking about that all the time. Senegal right now, one of the countries that was considered as the role model of democracy in West Africa. Right now, that democracy is in jeopardy. If there was a democracy in that country, if this is what we constantly see in Africa, then what is the future for Africa, guys? Let me ask you this. Then what is the future for Africa? Then where Africa is going? Guys, it's very hot right here. Let me turn on this thing here. If this is what is happening in Africa, then just let us reason for a second. If this is what is happening for Africa in Africa, then what is the future? What kind of future do we have? And man, for the case of Congo, man, this thing gets me emotional all the time, because this country, man, this country has been going through, man, a lot. And I can name countries that have been going through a lot in Africa. You have Congo, you have Ethiopia, you have Somalia. When you go to West Africa, basically all the countries there in these so-called Francophone countries have been going through a lot all the time. And what is the future for those countries? Some of the countries, for example, Congo, man, every single day, bombs, every single killing each other, everything. I don't know, man. I really don't know. I don't know what Africa can do. I don't know what African Union can do. I don't know what East African community can do, because we can either celebrate our country's peace that we have, or we can join our hands together and fight for the peace for our neighbors. We can choose to do. And our forefathers, they taught us so many times that unity, without unity, there will be no future for Africa. That means if you see your neighbor is not at peace, you can never be at peace. You must join your hands together. You must join your hands together with your neighbors to fight for the peace of your people. Because if this is the life, if the Exodus life, if this is the life that they're living every single day, Exodus from their countries, trying to find a better shelter, let me tell you this. Imagine how many people are dying throughout this process. What are the future of these kids? Some of the kids, maybe they're going to school, but now they're no longer going to school because there's a war. They need to run away. They need to move to try to reallocate to another place. So what is the future? If there's no education, if there's no hospitals, if there's no clean water, if there's no good food, man, come on. I'm sitting here in the house. I'm eating good food. I'm drinking clean water. But there are people right now, they're trying to move. They're walking day and night in this summer, in this kind of sun. They don't even have a drop of water to drink and to live. In the same continent, while others are living inside their houses like this, having, an air condition, they can just call and get delivery service from KFC, and they can do whatever the heck they want to do with anything. If in the same continent, some people can do that, and in the same continent, some people are still working day and night, trying to find a better shelter for them to live, trying to escape for their lives, trying to defend the lives of their kids in the same continent or in the same country. You see, somebody's telling me here, who cares, bro? Enjoy your lovely life. And this is where we are. And I understand, Wanderer. I understand that we have people like you who they just want to enjoy their lives. They want to close their eyes. They want to close their ears. And they don't want to see what is happening in Africa. And they just want to close the doors of their house and enjoy their lives. But let me tell you this, while you are enjoying your life, while you are buying whatever you want to, the heck you want to buy, let me ask you this. Next, just across the street, next to your country, there are people who do not enjoy what you eat, who do not eat what you eat, who cannot even afford to stay in the house because they're constantly running for their lives, trying to find a better shelter. If we cannot think collectively, if we cannot think that your win must be my win, your loss is my loss, if we cannot think collectively, I'm telling you, what you're enjoying right now in your country, you're not going to spend a long time. It's going to be taken away from you. I'm not praying for evil to happen in your country, but what is happening from your neighbors, what is happening in your neighbor's house, it's going to happen in your country. So we're not just fighting because we want to secure the future for ourselves, but we're fighting because we want people, and I can feel your pain. And I know your pain. I can feel it. I can feel what Congo is going through. I can feel what any African is going through in the continent, because I am an African. And I want the best for them. Because the future of this continent does not rely on one country. The future of Africans does not rely on one person. It relies on all Africans. And if we want to have a strong Africa, if we want to have a secure Africa for our kids in the next generation, we must fight for this continent. We must fight for our countries. We must fight for the future generation. We must fight for the kids. These kids that they don't have place to live. These kids that constantly, they need to run away from their countries, trying to find a better place to live. We must fight for them. We must think about them. We must pray for them. We must talk about them. We must go there and support these people. And we must talk to the authority. We must tell them that you guys have a part to play. You cannot have a country with a government and still you have people walking away from their country trying to find a better shelter. If they're walking away from their own town, Sake, then you as a president of the country, you should be walking away from your White House and trying to go somewhere else as well. But you cannot live peaceful life in the same country while you have other people living unsettled life. Just in the same country. What are you doing? What are we doing? If we cannot feel our neighbor's pain, if you cannot feel your neighbor's pain, then what are you doing? What is the purpose of you living here? What is the purpose of you being called and being here in Africa? Being here in the continent of more than 1.4 billion people. What is the purpose of you being here? If you can enjoy life, you can enjoy whatever that you have, whatever the empire that you created. You know, it comes a time when I think that I know money is important. Wealth is important. We must be wealthy. We must have money. But it comes a time when I think about it and I'm like, you know what? The lives of people are important. And you can create whatever money that you want. Yes, do. You can live your life. Amazing. But are you going to enjoy that alone? Who are you going to spend that money with? Who are you going to enjoy that money with? You have neighbors in your next country or even in your same country that they're walking away from their own home, trying to find a better life, trying to find a shelter. And sadly, kids, little kids, guys, little kids of 3 years old, 2 years old, 1 year old, they don't have a life anymore. They don't have life. Why? Because M23 have occupied the city and people, they are running away for their lives. Luckily, nobody has died yet. But these people are running away from their country out of worry that I must protect my family. And because I want to protect my family, let me run away. Let me run away from my own country. Look at this picture once again. And people here, I mean, on TikTok, you guys cannot, okay, you can see it here. Look at that. I don't know if you can see that. Anyways, but these are people who are walking away from their own country, from their own people, trying to search for a better life. Africans, let me ask you this. What are we going to do about Congo? Because if there are people that have been crying for so long time, they're Congolese. They've been crying. Even yesterday, you know, they're playing soccer. And you all saw what they represented. You know, it's sad that you are enjoying, and they did pretty well. We got to give them credit. But you know that at home, there is no life. There's no life. There's no life. This is the life of our people, guys. And not only in Congo, man. I know I'm talking about Congo here, but this is the life. This is the life of our people in all the countries in Africa. In Ethiopia, this is the life. In Sudan, this is the life. In the western part of Africa, this is the life. This is how our people are living. Man, I don't know, man. Like I really don't know. I don't say that enough. I don't say that as much as because most of the time, you know, I think I know, but I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Like I really don't know, man. I'm looking at the situation in Africa, situation of Congo. It's just sad, man. It's sad. This M23. I just want to ask, man, African Union, is it really like we really failed to protect this continent? There's no need to have African Union. We failed to protect from Al-Shabaab, from Boko Haram, from M23. We failed to protect our continent. Then why do we have these organizations? Why do we have these organizations? If people, they have to flee away from their own country, from their own city, because there's some rebel group that is killing people and threatening people's life and they need to walk away. Where are we living, man? What kind of age are we living in? Every single day in Africa, there's a war breakout. Senegal. Every single day, man. Every single day. And we're here dreaming for a better life for our kids. I just know, man. Why do I care about this? Because I look at these little children you see in the picture, and I think about myself that I was like that little guy, man. I was that little guy. I was this little kid right here. I was that little kid, man. I did not know what is going on. But God is good. At least I had peace. I had food on the table. And I had a home. I had a place to sleep. I had it. Today, may God even forgive me, because I complained that, man, our lives were very difficult. I had to work my butt off to buy my own shoes, my clothes. I grew up in the very ordinary family. But I'm looking at this, man, and I'm like, man, how can I complain? How can we complain about our lives while you have kids like this? Kids, little kids. Look, most of these are little kids, man. You know the population of Africa. Majority, more than 60% are youth. But let me ask you this. Do you know how much percent are children? Little kids. A lot of them, man. And this is the future of Africa. But future is like this, man. Future is like this. Future, they don't go to school. They don't have proper medical care. They don't have that, man. They don't have friends to play with, because every single time the only sound they hear is the gun sounds, is the bomb sounds. They don't have clean water. The future for Africa. Where's the future for Africa, man? In 40, 50, 60 years, you have African Union Vision 2063, but is 2063, 40 years from now, 40 years from now, these kids, are they going to be there? Are they going to be alive? Are they going to go to school? No, they're running away from their lives. They don't have houses to live in anymore. They don't have clean water. They don't have food anymore. You're talking about 2063. What are they going to do in 2063? Are we going to have people in 2063? Are we going to have Africans? Or are we going to have just a short number of people, those rich people who they care to enjoy about their lives? They just run away from the continent when something bad happened, and they can come back anytime to utilize the continent and to try to create the life for themselves. Take advantage of the situation. Because I'm telling you, you can make money anytime. Even when the war breaks out, you can make money. Even when there's a flood in the country, you can make money. It just depends on which side you're in. Either you're in a victim side or you're in the making money side. And that is what is happening in Africa. When tragedy is happening, there are people who are making money, and there are people who are suffering and struggling and dying. And those who make money, they run away. They open accounts in Dubai. They open accounts in Germany, in the USA. They open accounts there. So they can go there anytime. They buy houses, mansion there. They have citizenship there. They can walk away and run anytime and go there when things go bad here in Africa. 40 years, 2063, 40 years from now, what is going to happen, man? These kids, what are they going to do 40 years? Are they going to be there? Are they going to be even alive? Because, man, they don't eat clean water. They don't drink clean water. They don't eat good food. They don't have good house to live in. Do you think their lifespan, is it going to be 50, 60 years? No. That's why people die young in Africa. They die while they're 40 years of age in Africa. They die while they're 30 years of age in Africa. They die while they're young in Africa. Those are people in Africa. Lifespan is very short. But why? It's because of the difficulty of life. Because of difficulty of life. That's why we die very young. Difficulty of life. People die very young. Those who live long, they have money. If they get cancer, oh, they can go to USA. They can go to Korea. They can be treated there. They have money. They can go to India. Get care of themselves. Don't get me started talk about politicians, because they don't die here. They die somewhere else. Only patriots, they die here because they know the system here is not good. Why? I know, man. I know how am I going to be treated in my own country? And I know, man, it ain't shit. When it comes to medical care, there's nothing there. Why should I die in the country here and I have money? I have a private jet. I can go anywhere. I can be treated anytime. And we're talking about the future of Africa, 2063, vision of Africa in 2063. What kind of future are you going to have in 2063? Are you going to have even a future? Are you going to have even Africans in 2063? No, that vision is supposed to be today, because look at these kids. They don't have future. They're working. They're fighting for their lives today. It's supposed to be today for these kids, man, for God's sake. Not 2063. They're not going to be alive because they're dying right now. Majority of African young people are dying today because of HIV diseases, malaria. A lot of them are dying. We can't even afford to treat malaria in Africa. It's the only continent still have malaria. Kids are dying because of malaria. These kids are walking around the street. They don't have a place to live. They don't have a place to stay. They don't have a place to sleep. They sleep outside. Malaria, mosquito bites them. They die out of malaria because they don't have money to take care of themselves. They don't have money. You enjoy your life in your house, and you have millions of Africa, millions of young children dying every single day. Let me tell you this, man. If you cannot look at this picture and think about these kids as your own kids, think about this mom as your own mom, man. And kudos to these African women. Running away from their own country, still holding their children, carrying their children on their back, trying to find a better life for them. Kudos to these women. Most of them, man, if they did not have these children, they just stay there. We better die here. But most of them are walking away because of their children. Look at this picture and look at how many children are there. Oh, they are all back there. Look at those are kids there. And most of these women are holding their kids. And by the way, I don't see men here. Where the heck are the men here? Where are the men? Or maybe they're fighting there. But where are the men here? I just see women. Because most of men, they give pregnancy to these men. They impregnate these women and then they walk away. And then you have single moms here holding men. Where are the men, by the way, for God's sake? Look at this picture, and then you realize that men are not there. Men are not there. Where are African men? Where are we? We're not there. May God forgive us. Because they're not there. I only see women with the kids. Osea, nakuja. I only see women with kids. That's what I see. And women are carrying heavy loads, holding kids, holding babies, and walking. This is the reality of Africa. Where are the men? They impregnate these women. They walk away from their families. Maybe they're in another city finding a better life. They don't even care about it. Guys, if we cannot, Africa, if we cannot come together and talk about our children, talk about our women, talk about our people, if we cannot, man, we're not going to see a better Africa. If we cannot put accountable politicians, we cannot hold them accountable. If we cannot play our part to contribute, to speak, to actually do something, there's no future for Africa. Because the future is there in that picture. Future is there. Guys, I need to leave. I'm saddened by this news. I will come back here later tonight. But I'm saddened with this news. And it's sad. It is very sad. May God help us. May God forgive us. May God help us. May God forgive us. May God help us. May God forgive us. All right, guys. May God help us. May God forgive us.